Okay, so if you jumped into the algorithm and wanted to learn no code from all the things that you see on YouTube, from beginner YouTube no code cursor tutorials, I want to give you what it looks like 2 months after clicking on that first video and what things that you may come across with, especially if you don't have any coding experience, program experience, no computer science experience. You're coming in vanilla trying to make this happen. And I like to think this is more like a mindset because you can't give up. Because the AI that you get from Cursor, Claude, V0, and all of them, they help speed things up. But you still need to understand how to code. I call it the looping problem. So some of you may have come across the fact when you get to Cursor and you can build really cool front end and even potentially a basic MVP or something to deploy. But the back end is where things get really, really tricky. So when you just look at this, you're like, I have no idea what this means. And I really do think once you get into the no code understanding of how to prompt, then you need to understand what the AI is spitting out. Because if you don't understand what the AI is spitting out, then you just get lost and you're going to come across a lot of problems like essentially these problems here. And you're just stuck in this problem section in Cursor trying to figure it out. And then you just keep clicking OK because you don't understand the code and you're betting that the AI is going to fix it for you. And more often than not, if you don't understand what the AI is deleting and fixing, it potentially may be deleting the most important part of your projects, which is what you wanted to start off with, which is what I've come across many, many times. So let's see this. I got pretty stressed out yesterday and I got super angry because I couldn't figure it out. But I just want to see what I left off with. So let's see here. And for those beginner coders, Bun is way more faster than NPX. So that's what I started doing. So if you want, I can leave a link on the comments if you want to install it. It's super quick. It's like a replacement for npm. So anytime you use npm, you write Bun instead, and it just installs packages and dependencies way more quicker. And that's the thing about YouTube. I love YouTube because you can learn these little hacks pretty quick and throughout your journey. And this is going to come up with a problem or blank screen. This is what I mean. I don't even know what this means. So that's why I've reorientated my direction into learning more about code. Unfortunately, if you come into this thinking that you can get by with no code, from my experience, I like to think that that's not a good process because you're going to most likely get very frustrated and that's going to increase your probability of giving up. I'm not saying that you are going to give up. It's just that when you get stressed and angry and frustrated that you're not moving the needle forward any day or any single day because you're spending 4 hours just trying to figure out and make a project and then you've got to market it. It gets pretty annoying. So the solution, start learning Python. There's a link that I'm doing very casually. Just some days I do it, sometimes I don't. And I honestly don't fully understand what the lessons are saying. But after 18 days, which took, and each video takes like 5 to 7 minutes, so you can do multiple days in a couple hours, you're going to get some level of understanding. It's free. You can pay for a core account, which is $20, which gives you more storage. But I'm going with the free account. Again, I was listening to a Naval podcast, and if you can build a house with sticks, you're winning. Essentially, be very resourceful, especially at the start. All right, the next thing I want to talk about is front end only. If you're someone like me and you saw the glitz and the glamour on how AI can revolutionize how someone with no coding experience can get an idea out, and you're 2 to 3 months in, or even a week in, and you're like, damn, I can make front end pretty cool. which is pretty much just copy and paste and make websites and landing pages look beautiful. And then after that, there becomes a problem because you get really good at front end, which is amazing. I think that's one cool thing about AI, which bridges the gap for not people with no experience. You can really get beautiful looking landing pages. And the solution that I truly believe, if you want, this is coming from a goal to become a full stack developer, which means get good at front end, back end, and authentication, and deploying your app into the internet. The solution that I started doing is going on X and start looking for public repos that you can start remixing. And what I mean by remixing is just going through the whole entire project and trying to understand what it means and what you can edit and how you can make it better. The thing that you want to try to avoid is to make too many repos. The reason why I say it's another looping trap is because you think you're working hard, but ultimately you're just restarting every half an hour or every minute. And I speak based on my experiences because the cool thing about GitHub is that it records this green little box thing over here, and it tells you how hard you've been working, essentially, or how many contributions you've been putting in. And a lot of this is just restarting projects, which, again, I am putting reps. I don't mind that. I just want to be making quality stuff now. So this is the mind shift that I'm starting to take. Reps are good, but quality and staying with the problem until you figure it out, I feel like that's way better to understand how to grasp what you're trying to figure out. And ultimately, the feeling that I'm trying to get is one, be okay with failing and being grateful that I've got the time to learn this. And two, there's an aha moment. Every time you have an aha moment, that's what you're chasing in the short term as a beginner. The aha moment, that is what will make you stay in the game. So yes, I want to be making money, but staying in the game for as long as you can gives you the opportunity to work at it consistently. This is a skill. So public GitHub repos, remixing them, you learn way better. Because one, you don't get stuck trying to figure out how to go from a blank sheet or just starting with boilerplates. Highly recommend that. So my current problem is back-end problems and understanding how back-end code works. If I can understand how a database works and how to do authentication properly, I'll be one happy chappy, because they don't do that on YouTube. They just tell you the easy part, but the back end, if I can really understand that and document my journey and teach you guys how to do it super easily, I'll be very happy. If I figure this out before Christmas, super happy with that. Because ultimately the takeaway message after 2 months of learning, of going through this journey of NoCode, you need to understand code. Because ultimately, the AIs and the LLMs are making current developers, programmers 100% and 100x faster, and 100x better coders because they can understand and work together with the AI. It's pretty much like a cyborg symbiotic relationship. How do we convert that in with beginners? Essentially, you just treat Cursor and any other AI chat as your tutor. So again, building a house from sticks, do whatever it takes to use the free LLMs out there to treat it like your teacher. And then document it, because ultimately redistribution with this skill is how you're going to win. Because if you're just learning code and you don't know how to market, you can't get paid. You're just learning a skill and it becomes an expensive hobby. And what I mean by expensive, it's time consuming. I wanted to leave it at that for today, but I am continuing learning. And for you guys, I hope this motivates you just to not give up. Start a YouTube channel and just keep documenting your journey. And who knows, we should create a community. We should link up and just constantly grind. because if you're bullish like me, why not learn this no code and market it? Because that's going to be really powerful in the next 3 to 4 years. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.